I remember hearing a story one time about a man. He lived in California. It's an area that's prone to earthquakes. He was driving to work. He left every morning about 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And there was an earthquake that took place. That was kind of like Tuesday, for them. It wasn't a big deal. He pulled over on the side of the road. The street lights went out, which again wasn't a big deal. Once the earthquake was over, he got back on the road, started going back to work. He started coming towards a bridge that he crossed every day. It was foggy over the bridge, which is typical if you've ever driven over bridges early in the morning. Street lights were out, so it was a little bit darker than normal. So he slowed down. As he started to get on the bridge, he could tell something was different, and he slowed down even more. Then suddenly, he slammed on his brakes at just the last second, realizing that the bridge had collapsed in the earthquake. He's sitting in his car, and he's kind of just gathering himself. He's catching his breath for a moment. It's like, man, listen, that could have been really, really bad. And then he sees car lights in his rearview mirror coming up behind him. He gets out of the car, and he starts trying to wave the car down. And the car's not slowing down. All they see is some crazy guy outside of his car at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's waving, and he sees the car begin to put on their blinker to get into the other lane. And he's waving more intensely. He's yelling as the car goes right past him and careens off the bridge to their death. As he's just panicked at what he just saw, he's trying to call 911. And as he's trying to call 911, he sees more headlights coming. And so he starts waving more ferociously, starts raving more passionately, and the car keeps coming. And as the car gets over in the lane to do the same thing the other car did, he took his shirt off and he started waving his shirt in the air. And as the car still started coming towards him, finally, he did the only thing he could do. He laid down in the street because he couldn't stand by and watch somebody else go to their death. The car stopped. Once the car stopped and realized what had happened, they just wrapped the man up in tears, thanking him because he had saved their lives. Friends, we as followers of Jesus, we know that the bridge is out. We know that there's no way across to the other side, that death is before all those that we know. And the only way that anybody gets out of this is to have their Savior, to have Jesus as the Lord of their lives. So we've got to be willing to get a little undignified. We've got to be willing to sacrifice just a little bit because everybody needs Jesus.